Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright Justice for All as Acro's Cyclops have been broken. We're about to find out the details of his injury, of which everything kind of plates him with amazing amounts of motive to have committed murder at this point. So let's get the information. My legs were injured by Leon 6 months ago. My younger brother, Bat, had a dare with Regina.
A dare?
An absurd dare. If I can put my head inside of Leon's mouth like you do, you have to go to the movies with me on a date.
That's insane! Didn't you know how dangerous that is?
We all thought he was being stupid too, but that line was very old to begin with. And age brought with it countless experience in doing that very trick. Unfortunately, this particular time, I guess Leon wasn't ready or willing. And that's when the accident happened. He just wanted to take her out to the movies.
Poor Bat.
When Leon chomped down, I jumped towards him. Then Leon attacked me, and that's how I ended up.
What about Bat?
He's still in a coma. I went to the hospital yesterday to visit him.
I see.
I'm still waiting for him to open his eyes again. And that's the reason why I keep going. Okay, but we've also got ourselves a bit more conversation dialogue replaced on the wheelchair bit. Here's Regina and Bat. Bat and Regina. They were such great friends. Oh yeah, I wanted you to take a look at this.
What is it?
This is a scarf my brother was wearing when Leon attacked him.
Gross. It's covered in blood.
This scarf was a present from Regina to my brother on the day of the accident. When he did it, he looked like he was smiling. He? Leon, obviously.
Oh.
When he bit down on Bat's head, the expression on Leon's face looked like a grin.
Nick,
It doesn't look like a grin to me, to be fair.
I know. Mo said the same thing. What do you think it all means?
I'll be taking that scarf if you don't mind. I can easily guess who this is.
Miss Von Karma? I've already heard everything, so hand over the scarf. But the scarf is evidence in the trial. That is for me to decide. I think we should begin our preparations now, Acro. Preparations? I've served a summons to Acro to appear in court tomorrow as a witness. Acro, we'll talk more at the prosecutor's office. Acro, a witness? Come, Acro, let's go to the office.
Yes, ma'am. He so did it.
Now what do we do, Nick? How are we going to handle tomorrow?
Don't worry about it. I'll figure something out.
Look at you, all full of confidence. You must have found something you can use.
This is all beginning to come together now. Yes. It is. It actually is.
But when Phoenix Wright plays its game, Phoenix Wright often wants very vague things presented at very vague times.
So we'll see if we can negotiate that.
And hope the judge is in a bit more of a favourable mood since the last time. That would be nice too. Good morning, Max.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it.
Tee-hee, who's that, Regina? Don't get me nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Regina!
How fabulous, my sweetie pie princess! You came to watch my performance today?
Of course I did. Mo told me that I should come and watch this.
Mo said that?
So, what kind of performances will you put on today? Let me guess. You'll fly at the end?
It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties?
Huh?
I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't... Yeah, she doesn't seem to realise what's going on. Or even where she is.
Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today, I'm just a member of the audience.
fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there.
Good luck, Max. You're the best. Regina's different, don't you think, Nick?
Top of the morning to ya! Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go? Mo? Well, if it's Von Karma, very low. Top of the morning to you, governor. Top of the morning. That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. The early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack higher brain function. Here, Max. I brought you a present. Have some milk. Oh my. Thanks. So how are you today, Wright? Well, I've got the feeling today I'm going to face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro?
Huh? You think he did it?
Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line. Literally. He's got guts to spare. If all I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses.
What are you going to do then, Nick?
I guess today we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro into the truth.
You're right, but it's going to be tough.
Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. You really believe in Acro's guilt as well, don't you? You believe I'm right, or more to the point you seem to know I'm right. Mo's demeanor is very weird. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father.
You want us to make sure Regina watches?
Yes, that's why I brought her here to court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars. Someone has to step in as the father, I guess. Especially if he wants to be the ringmaster in the future, eh? Someone has to get serious. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, Miss Von Karma. You may proceed with your case.
The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events.
What's the meaning of this?
We have discovered a new witness, or shall I say, a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime.
Order! Order! I had a feeling something like this would come up.
Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders.
Poor Gumshoe. Very well. Please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work. Or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope. And it is. I think our one and only witness today. How are the birds getting in here?
Name and occupation.
Ken Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Very Big Circus. Big Berry Circus, yes.
Where were you at the night of the crime?
I was in my room that night. You may as well testimony now.
If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene.
My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window.
The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed?
Okay. I will tell you. It was just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. These are very thin windows. Then, a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's what it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown.
If that's the case, there is very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night.
Hold it!
Yeah, let me have a go first. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timings for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth did.
Why are you making dig there? Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony?
In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings?
There's no way that actually happened. Very well, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
It's pressing time. Though by what he said before, I don't think we're going to get too much information. But press and find something we can go for.
It was just after 10 PM and I was resting in my bed.
Okay then. You said that you were resting in bed. One would thus assume that you would turn the lights off in your room, correct?
That's correct. But there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. It's so bright, sometimes it can make it hard to sleep. If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains? I never really thought of that. I guess that means I'm off to buy some curtains. Haha, sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers. Ow!
The witness will proceed with his testimony. A pause.
Interesting. Around that time I heard a large thump noise from outside the window.
Your room is on the 3rd floor, right?
Yes.
You said that you were resting in bed.
That is correct.
But you were still able to hear a sound from outside?
I was indeed.
Pressing Acro doesn't seem to get results. But maybe something was contradictory in what he said just now.
Didn't seem like there was anything wrong.
Short, sharp statements are quite interesting though. He's just completely being evasive by answering in a couple of words.
What's the matter, Mr. Wright?
No, nothing, Your Honor. Until I can find a clear contradiction, I should tread lightly. It's almost like she wanted me to do it.
Then a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window.
See, this could be an interesting statement. Are you sure it was a human being?
Ooh, good question.
It could have been a mannequin,
or perhaps a large action figure.
You know what? It's not unfeasible.
Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin,
Mannequin?
an action figure is plausible.
You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix Wright. Testify to the truth, and only the truth, just as if we were there with you that night.
I believe it was a human. Damn, I just strengthened his testimony.
I wonder if Acro's statement jives with the facts. There's nothing wrong because it's what he saw, so I can't really prove that as a contradiction at this point in time because we haven't proven that he didn't fly outside technically. But the fact that these keep coming up here are interesting.
What's the matter, Mr. Wright?
Nothing, Your Honor. Till I can find a clear contradiction, I should tread lightly. It's almost like she is waiting, but it could be that we can press on any of these and see what we can get, but might get a penalty on any of these, which is going to be interesting.
It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like.
Right. That's very definitive. The light in your room was turned off then, right?
That's true. I was going to bed after all.
So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window?
The safety lights lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. Well, here's an inconsistency. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front. Did you see any of the other symbols? I clearly saw the silk hat, as well as the cloak wrapped around his body.
But he left with a hat, did he?
I'm convinced the person I saw was Max Galactica.
This is the same thing as Mo's testimony, where he just said he walked off with a hat.
The more I press him, the less results I seem to get.
But maybe there was something fishy with his latest bit of testimony. I'll say there's a contradiction. Literally the same thing as Mo's. And if that flies, that'll be amazing. Because they've doubled up on that one. There's a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. Uh-oh.
I'm just gonna say, the fact the music hasn't stopped is worrying.
Objection!
Why are you objecting?
If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence.
She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction? Well, we gotta go with the same thing with Mo then. Found at the scene of the crime, but wasn't there. Music stopped. You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state that I'm in. Just looking outside the window was a tough enough challenge for me.
That's a shame, because you would have noticed a silk hat found on the scene.
That's the ringmaster's hat, right?
Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat. I think there was an even more interesting statement just then.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has 2 silk hats? No, this is handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica, which means Acro. But you've been fibbing on the stand. Order! Order!
Objection!
Oh yeah, you would. As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay, Nick?
Well, I opened my big mouth,
And now I have to back it up.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today?
He has a grudge against Max. Acro was dreaming, or Acro is the real culprit. Now we're plunging ourselves into the deep end here, but we've already decided that he is.
Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself.
On this occasion?
Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of?
Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry.
Mr. Wright, are you serious?
Deadly serious, Your Honor. I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book.
Really?
If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. He's calm enough for it to almost be scary.
He is staying rather calm and collected. Mr. Dingling, do you have any response to the defense's accusation? I don't really need to say a thing, do I? What do you mean? Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house. That's true. I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things...
See? Even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous.
She's right. Way to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man.
Phoenix is a poopy head. See that, Mr. Phoenix Wright? If you're trying to drum the support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. He's got a wheelchair. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well.
Oh really, are we?
I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice.
No, I don't believe he does. What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice?
No. He just had a plan. Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of the mystery accomplice.
Not this time, Von Karma.
What?
You're not going to sucker me into this one. What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright? There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself. Order! Order! Well, you say order, but things are getting real now that we've literally just went, yeah, he did it. And even though he's in that state, he planned this, he really did it. There's no accomplices, it was him. We'll see how this continues on next episode on Justice for All. As we hope things don't come unstuck for us. We're on the right path currently though. I'll see you then. Bye bye.